to use my life in worthwhile way, I offer it to Baba for his service to the entire humanity, to the whole world. So that Baba can use it and in between I take help from Baba, power from Baba, and it gets used. Manifold. When my thought is powerful, so that thought can also serve in unlimited way. So will be the body and other physical resources. With understanding, with love, and faith in Baba. I make myself belong to Baba and offer him. It becomes holy and very high. This helps me to attain as Baba said, high status in golden age. And that becomes like following Baba Shrimat. So as I take drishti from Baba, I offer myself. So that everything gets used in worthwhile way, in unlimited way. So that I also create my fortune, unlimited fortune.
इसीलिए हमारा गायन है, तू मिला तो जहान मिला, जहान तो क्या आसमान मिला। हम कहते हमें तो आसमान नहीं मिला, लेकिन हमें तो आसमान भी मिला, तो सूक्ष्म वतन भी संगम की सौगात मिली है, जो दुनिया में किसको नहीं मिलती वो हमें मिली है। जाओ वतन की यात्रा करके आओ। बैठा है कौन? बाबा से मिलके आओ, जब घरी जाओ। जाओ अपने वापस घर, जब चाहो तो उड़ के जाओ, अपनी घर की यात्रा करके आओ। जाओ जब चाहो अपने वैकुंठ चले जाओ, अपना स्वर्ग की नजारे देख के आओ। बिना खर्चे, बिना मेहनत, और हम उड़ते पंछी कहाँ भी उड़ सकते। जब चाहो जिधर की यात्रा चाहो वहाँ यात्रा करके आओ। जिस घड़ी चाहो, रात चाहो, दिन चाहो, कोई अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं, कोई खर्चा नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं। तब कहा हम हीरो में हीरा है, महावीरों में महावीर है, ये हमारा नशा है। तो बाबा ने कहा ना, नशा ये है हम लोग का नशा, और इसी नशे में जितना रहो उतनी अपार खुशी है। और ये नशा हमारा इतना गुप्त है जो दुनिया कोई नहीं जानती। इसीलिए हमारी खुशी के बराबर कोई खुशी वजन करे तो वजन नहीं कर सकते। किसी भी तराजू में तोड़ लेवे तो हमारे खुशी के बराबर कोई की तराजू नहीं जो तोड़ सके हमें। फिर बाबा ने कहा कि हाँ, आप सभी तो निश्चय वाले बच्चे बैठे हो, और बिल्कुल विजय भाव का तो वरदान दिया, निश्चय बुद्धि तो है ही। तो हम कहती हूँ, देखो बाबा ने आप सभी युगल मुहूर्त को बुलाया है, इसलिए आप लोगों का टाइटल है युगल मुहूर्त। अकेले भाई आए, अकेले बहने आए, उनको नहीं कहा मुहूर्त। भाई पांडव आए हो, शिव शक्ति आए हो, उनको बोला शिव शक्तियां आए हो, उनको कहा शिव शक्तियां आए हो। उनको अपना बड़ा टाइटल मिला, तुम शिव शक्तियां आए हो, और पांडवों को कहा महावीर आए हो। हर एक की विशेष अपनी महिमा है, इसलिए कोई बात ऐतराज, लेकिन इन्हों को कहा गया युगल मुहूर्त है। क्यों? आप सभी का सर्टिफिकेट है कमल पुष्प के आसन पर बैठे हो। तो ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी रिकॉर्ड है कि रहते हैं प्रवृत्ति में, परंतु रहते हैं सदा निवृत्त। निर्लिप्त तो नहीं कह सकते, परंतु न्यारे कह सकते। निर्लेप, न्यारा, इन दोनों के शब्दों में अंतर है। आत्मा निर्लेप नहीं। जब आत्मा निर्लेप नहीं तो हम कोई भी निर्लेप नहीं है। आत्मा पर हर एक बात का लेप छेप होता है। तो निर्लेप शब्द राइट नहीं है, अपन निर्लेप नहीं है, परंतु न्यारे जरूर है। न्यारे है सो प्यारे है, प्यारे है सो न्यारे है। निर्लेप कहो तो नो प्यारे है नो न्यारे है। न्यारा माना भाई कोई सामने चीज है फिर भी मैं न्यारी। तो हम निर्लेप नहीं है। निर्लेप वाले को कहा प्यारा नहीं कहेंगे, लेकिन हम प्यारे हैं, न्यारे हैं, न्यारे है सो प्यारे हैं। तो कमल पुष्प समान निर्लेप नहीं, परंतु न्यारे हैं और प्यारे हैं। माना कोई लेप छेप से हमें कोई उसे परे रहते। तो ये सर्टिफिकेट जो प्रवृत्ति वालों का है, ये हमारे सारे यज्ञ में क्या, लेकिन सारी दुनिया में ये एक मिसाल हो जाता कि हम प्रवृत्ति में रहते निवृत्त रहते, प्यारे रहते न्यारे रहते।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today, step 26. The story of immortality This one, the chariot. Follow Father Brahma. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. I was very, very fortunate to meet Brahma Baba, the chariot of Shiv Baba personally. It was in 1952. It was in 1950 that the whole family, BK family, Yagya moved to Mount Abu in India. And I think you all saw in Adidev the story. So that finally they settled in Mount Abu. And then Baba was telling them, because they all were there, and they say on the mountain you can only see sisters, brothers with white clothes. It was not very much popular tourist place at that time. So then Baba told them in 1952 that you all have to go for service now. And so it was difficult for them after 14 years not being in the world outside, not interacting with Lokik people, not doing anything with money buying, because there were certain souls had duty to do all that in yagya, so no one had to do personally. So some of them, dadis, they decided, and they wanted to follow directions of Baba, so they offered themselves, and then they came to Delhi. And you hear so many stories of they had no place to live, so they were spending day on the bank of river Jamna, and they will sleep somewhere at someone's house at the night time. And Dadi Janki was sharing that maximum they had was some whole wheat flour, chapati flour. So they make nice chapatis and just put salt in that, or sometimes they have few potatoes, they will make it, and that's what they ate very happily. Because deep within they knew that this is Baba's task. And so in 1952, some of them came to my Lokik, my grandfather's home, because they knew my family, Lokik family, from Karachi, from Pakistan. So somewhere they came to know, and they came. And at that time, because 1947 was our partition of the country, so a lot of people will used to come as refugees, or they want to settle. So they used to come. And no, like today, Baba said, whole family should be in service. So they were very generous, and we lived in a very big extended family. We were about 25, 30 of us, my uncles, but most of them were in government, so there was some influence. So they wanted some help, and that's when I saw them. And when I saw them, they were only talking about his Baba, our Baba. So I was very curious. I was about, I think, 10, 11 years old. I said, but who is Baba? Where he lives? We all live on the top of the mountain. I said, really? Where is that mountain? And so then they start telling us many stories of Baba. So internally, like I felt I want to connect with this Baba. So I said, what your Baba eats? So they said, we can send fruits, and but no cookies, no candies. That was at that time I could offer. They say, but he eats pera, no, little milk balls. they all eat peda there. We said, okay. So we used to have a big space outside, like a covered one. So we gave them a stove and lot of milk, make pedas and take it or send it to Baba. And so from very beginning, like my pull, thinking of Baba. And I know that after few years, in the morning, early morning, I start feeling, because I always used to wake up early morning to study, but I just felt like sitting and big pull, not knowing what it is. And so then I, wrote to Baba a letter. How do you adopt children? Do you have your children? And I think Baba was very happy, and Baba said, yes, you are my daughter, but two things you have to do. One is every morning you have to study, spiritual knowledge. And so I said, okay, that's all right. So then it's a long story, but so I had this whole feeling for Brahma Baba. And at that time, like these days, we have so many pictures, right? But that time there were no camera, there were not pictures of Brahma Baba. They had some very old ones. So they will show me, this is Brahma Baba. It's a very, looks very decent gentleman. And I, some or other, I had pull and I start communicating with Brahma Baba. And then Baba came to Delhi and I made appointment. I met Brahma Baba. So, even when you all are seeing the picture, like he was so authentic, you can feel that very experienced and very practical person. So I always had kind of, I didn't understand the lifestyle of gurus and yogis with all strange kinds of things. But when I saw Brahma Baba, very normal, well dressed and clean, and also when I met the way they served toli and tea and the food, everything was so normal but high quality. So I liked it because I was looking for a life which is regular, normal, but still elevated in the sense of you do something spiritually for the self, and also you want to, within the family and society, live a life which could be a good example. So I got very connected just even looking at his personality. And then, so when I met him, then Baba said, come to Madhuban. And in those days, at age of 16, to think of traveling alone, no way, for India, right? I'm talking about 65 years ago. So I kind of tried to convince my mother. I said, let's go. It's holidays for me. We will go to this place, and nobody in family would want unless a man member is there. So I said, from where to convince someone else? So he said, no, they will receive us at the station. They will take us, so you all don't have to worry. Anyway, I don't know details, remember if anyone else, but definitely two of us, we went to Madhuban. I was so impressed with simplicity, but also everything so clean and royal. Very simple, barely anything. But then it was like you just enter and you could feel that some kind of power is there, because they all had done tapasya for so many years. And they didn't needed necessarily many physical resources, but they were really all of them, the power of purity. Purity is like one is, celibate, so people look very much like not very loving, but here it was like purity was like in peace. Purity was in the form of Lord of Love, very sweet. And even the cooking was done on a very, very big wood fire, very big, You stand there, make chapatis or something was big challenge. So everything was, as I said, very minimum, very simple. They just had the basics, but they looked their hearts were full because they all were from rich family. They lived in Yagya with lot of abundance. So now was the time for their renunciation, what we call it real tyag. So the way Brahma Baba not only used to meet us, but also then in the Murli. So when I went, we were few of us as young people there from different places, but mostly it was old BKs, no? They all were over 60, 65. And so Baba, in History Hall, before History Hall, the class used to be at the entrance of Panda Bhavan. There is a little office which Baba used to use. So they will make it clear and have class there. So 25 can sit. But then the History Hall was built. So in History Hall, I will sit in front. But because Baba wanted that when we listening Murli, you should really concentrate. Shiv Baba is speaking, right? So you look at Brahma Baba because he's sitting in front of you, but you are looking in the eyes, center of forehead, that Shiv Baba, God is speaking. So I used to really feel it, that Shiv Baba is speaking to me through Brahma Baba. So you must be very excited, right? Listening to my story and kind of feeling it. So I used to look at the eyes and forehead and just like concentrating, because you need to concentrate to feel the power, feel the nectar, sweetness, love, everything from holy. No? It's not Baba gave us love at separate time and power. No, when he was speaking, you could feel the love of Father. You can see that how, as a teacher, he wanted us to be attentive. And as Sadguru that we follow in practical. But I used to see this bright light in between, and it's like not saying anything. Oh, Shiv Baba is here. Shiv Baba is talking through Brahma Baba. So he gave all what he had to give is through Murli. Of course, during day chit chat and the care which was taken by him and joy which came playing with him. But especially at Murli time was not much, 50 minutes or so. Because Mama used to speak for about 10 minutes and Baba will speak, and I think they finish very punctually by 7 o'clock. So then, from time to time while playing, Baba will remind us, with whom are you playing? Mother, father, Bap, Dada. So it was so beautiful and felt so real. Of course, word God is like highest on high somewhere. We are so far, but on the other side we say is our Father, right? So we should feel that nearness and very comfortable. If it is, I think, is a God, so I will like kind of, oh, let me be far because God is. But anyway, because I was lost in path of worshipping, not like bhakti, but yes, lot of devotion. And so I always had feeling for God that I belong to Him. I mean, all these relatives, all that are in this world, I don't belong to them. From very beginning, I had this feeling that I belong to God. So if I am soul and I'm recognizing Him as Supreme Soul, so there was no like distance, but immediately like, yes, we are together, we are meeting, He's teaching, He's my parents, He's taking care of me. Such beautiful feelings. So, like while listening, Murli, completely absorbed in how he's with love saying things. When you hear Brahma Baba, no, we play night class. So it's like he's talking to us, talking to children, not he's giving like a lecture, right? Because he's teaching us as a father. And then because he's also a teacher and Sadguru. So he always says, sweet, sweet children, make us laugh and give very simple examples to explain us. So really, it was a wonderful time, and I had no difficulty in recognizing whenever Shiv Baba came. But then also I had a lot of love, respect for Brahma Baba, because the way he was following the knowledge and he was creating this big family of all the souls who lived a pure life, and everyone just dedicated towards one task and an understanding of the task, and him surrendering completely to Shiv Baba. So it was inspiring and very clear what I have to do. So one thought, immediately I said, I have to do what my father does. He has unlimited tasks. So I will also join that and I will also serve. So start becoming the commitment and the thought of following Brahma Baba accurately. And I feel it was great fortune. I keep remembering those old innocent days where I had beautiful, beautiful experiences, lot of love from Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. We call mother, father together. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So now we will begin our journey. Would like to invite our two angel sisters. Welcome.
Step number 26, follow Father Brahma.
My mind continues to turn over what the Father is telling me, and I wonder about the one whom he is calling the lucky chariot. Who was the one who was deemed worthy of such an elevated role in this drama? Sensing that I want to know more about the chariot, my father obliges.
When I descended from the incorporeal world, I entered this one at his age of retirement to grant him the fruit of his devotion. This auspicious moment of our meeting is called the confluence.
I wonder what it must have been like for this man, Lekraj, to have had the Supreme Soul enter his body. and name him Brahma, the one who has been called the ocean of love, the ocean of knowledge, must have given this ordinary one such an experience. My father seems to guess my thoughts.
Brahma was amazed.
It is as if my father then pauses briefly and seems to turn over the organs of the body to Brahma so that he can tell me of his own experience. The voice that speaks is the same, but the one who is speaking is the human being, Brahma, who I now understand is the host.
I had a vision in which Father Shiva said, "Remember me, and all your sins will be destroyed." This was something new for me. Then Father Shiva gave me a vision of the establishment of the new world and destruction of the old world. At that time, I did not have full understanding of what the Father was explaining. I just had the feeling that there was some unique power that had entered me. At night, when I was sleeping, I felt so light. It was as if I was flying. However, I did not understand the depth of anything. After the Almighty Power entered me, unusual things began to happen. When I would look at people, some of them would have visions. The eyes of these people would close, and when I asked, "What is happening?" they would reply that they saw paradise or that they saw a divine being. This was something that took time for me to understand. I took leave from my business and went away to Benares to try and understand. I would sit for long hours in solitude, thinking of the Father and what he was saying through me. I spent those days drawing and writing of things that were being revealed to me. I did nothing else. Finally, I understood that the Father was guiding me to do this in preparation for my role. When Father Shiva entered my body and showed me the scenes of destruction of the old world, I realized that the old world was going to go through difficult times. And I began to think to myself that I should forget about this worldly business and just do spiritual business. Instead of dealing with the perishable diamonds and jewels, I should now deal with the imperishable jewels of spiritual knowledge. When I was made to understand that I was to become a self-sovereign, I experienced happiness inside. Because of these realizations, I renounced everything. I understood that this was the right thing to do.
As I am taking in this amazing story, I reflect on my own story and how many times my mind has been pulled back to my old life on the other side of the door. This one truly seems the perfect choice for this unique role. I wonder if I would have had the courage to leave my old life so suddenly and so completely. Guessing my thoughts, my father speaks through what I now understand is the mouth of Brahma.
Brahma did not leave anything. He recognized the benefit and transformed everything. He surrendered the ego of the intellect and the dictates of his own mind and became the embodiment of success through the method of Man Manabhav. He gave his wealth as the seed for world service with the faith that this giving was not giving, but was a means of receiving multi-millionfold by touching the lives of millions. He did not think about what would happen or how it would happen. Brahma carried out the action and took the step. His each step of courage brought him the return of 100-fold help from the Father. No matter what confronting situations came up in relation to his own family members or from souls within the community, neither in his thoughts nor in his dreams did he have any upheaval or doubt. Om Shanti Luz, welcome back.
Om Shanti,
Om
Om
Shanti,
Shanti,
Om Shanti, welcome.
Rita, Julia, Om Shanti Didi, and Om Shanti Shrestha Avyakti Parivar.
So Luz, it's really interesting how Shiv Baba said Brahma was amazed, and that from that, we hear the story of how he just knew that, that he had to just leave and yet not give away everything in one sense, but to transform and bring everything with him into this new life that he was bestowed by Shiv Baba. So when you think of how Brahma Baba did that, what do you think were the qualities that gave him the ability, the capacity to be able to do all of that?
I think Brahma Baba had instant recognition, in the sense that he knew that there was something totally different happening with him. But then to understand that it could only be the Supreme, that it could only be God, to make that shift in him, that it was no one else, because he was having so many gurus. He had a lot of things before that. And so I feel it was an instant recognition that this is something totally different and on a totally different level. And then to commit himself, to surrender himself to that one, with that, on the base of that recognition.
Yeah, I think you've that's an excellent way of saying it so succinctly, that this is exactly what happened. He recognized, and then he took the step.
Yeah.
And so I wondered, so when you came to Baba, and all of a sudden you recognized, you too were here with Baba. What do you feel happened inside of you that allowed you to follow in his footsteps as you're doing now?
Well, I don't know if it was that instant. I don't think it was that instant in me, in the sense that, the way Brahma Baba surrendered, but there was that instant recognition of truth. Not immediately the instant recognition of Brahma Baba's role or that it was God, but it was the recognition of truth. And because it was that recognition of truth, I understood it could only be God to give it. And then gradually, it was like a deeper inner knowing that awakened. Like something was touched, that inner knowing that you can't even rationalize, you can't even explain where it comes from, but it is that deeper knowing that is touched. And because it's touched, you feel that it is truth. And then you start understanding gradually what is truth, what is untruth, what is falsehood, where you have to work in yourself, because in the first place, you didn't know that a journey would be like this, that it is, the inner work, but it's the recognition for me and a deeper understanding that this must be God, can be anyone else, and that Brahma Baba's role was very special in between to spoon feed me in understanding.
Well, what's beautiful about what you've just explained is that both you and Brahma Baba, had the same, the way you've described it, both, it's the recognition that only God could be doing this, right? It was only God who could be creating what was being created. So very beautiful sharing. Thank you very much for coming this evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow evening.
Yes, very happy to be back tomorrow. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, everyone, family. Didi.
Thank you, Luz. That was beautiful, beautiful sharing. And so for our godly homework, our quest for tomorrow, and so at Amrit Vela, our godly dawn, become Man Manabhav, like the Father, Father Brahma. And as we travel through our day, our traffic control, follow the Father's directions. Take each step as a step of courage. Follow the Father's directions and take each step as a step of courage. And then in the evening, the reflection point, when Brahma Baba understood that he was to become a self-sovereign, he experienced pure happiness inside and renounced everything. Have I renounced everything as Brahma Baba did? This is the question to ask ourselves. Have I also renounced everything as Brahma Baba did? And then we can write down 8 words that describe this experience of renouncing, or how I renounced, or we can just pick one word and then draw a picture around that word which describes this, this feeling. And so that is your reflection and your chart for tomorrow. and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much, sisters. It was nice sharing. Just want to let you all know that these homework slides, which had been shown every day for the next day, there are 3 slides for Amrit Vela during the day and night. So these slides have been sent every single day in email. So if you are not able to write down during the series, please subscribe yourself to email list so that you can receive everything in your email every day. Thank you very much. Yeah, and that all language we send in email, all languages. So please subscribe yourself so that you can receive every day all the homework in all the languages, all 9 language. Thank you. Let's start our Avyakti journey. Welcome to Avyakti journey. Today is Mama's Murli, the lucky star who could speak God's language.
नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, और दृष्टि से लोरियां सुनाई तूने।
नजरों से सहलाया, प्यार से बहलाया, नजरों से सहलाया, प्यार से बहलाया, जिंदगानी लाखों की बनाई तूने। नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा।
ये प्रसाद की तो बात ही नहीं है, यहाँ तो कोई वो भक्ति मार्ग की नहीं है, परंतु फिर भी देखो ये पवित्र हाथों से और पवित्र जिसका ऐसा भी किसी का स्वीकार नहीं किया जाता है, कोई अपवित्र का धन या कुछ भी नहीं, पेट में खाने की चीज की संभाल रखती, क्योंकि जैसा अन्न वैसा मन, वो ऑटोमेटिक मशीन चलती है, जाएगा ही पेट में, जो अपने पक्के है मजबूत ना उसके अंदर जाएगा ही पवित्र। इसीलिए बनाने वाला प्योर और बाप को याद करेगा, इसीलिए हमारी खाने पीने की जरा थोड़ी परहेज रखते। अच्छा, तुमने मेहनत की है ना तो डबल देना चाहिए ना, एक मेहनत का एक तुम्हारा। अच्छा, हमको दिया नहीं, इसको बिठाएंगे तो हाँ निष्ठा में भी याद में अच्छी बैठती है। आज बहुत अच्छा बैठी मामा। हाँ, किसको याद करती हो? शिव बाबा को। कैसा है शिव बाबा? अच्छा है। क्यों नहीं, जो इतना ब्लवेड फादर है, जो हमको इतना प्यार करता है कि हमारी लाइफ ऐसी बना लेता है, उसके प्रति क्या प्रेम नहीं होगा? जरूर होगा। कब कोई किसी मनुष्य के ऊपर कोई एहसान करता है, कोई धन की मदद करता है, कोई समय पर कुछ हेल्प करता है, तो कितना उसके लिए दिल में होता है, भाई इसने समय पर हमको बहुत मदद की। तो जब ये मनुष्य के प्रति इतना होता है, वो तो हमारा हाँ सदा सुख सर्व सुख देने वाला है, लेकिन जब जानते हैं ना तब उससे लौ बैठते हैं, नहीं तो नहीं जानते तो फिर देखो बेचारे यहाँ चल रहे हैं। तो ऐसे बाप को समझ कर करके चलना चाहिए। हाँ बहुत अच्छा। ये कोई लाए हैं या अपने आप आए हैं? अपने आप। अच्छा, तो अपने आप आई हैं। अभी इन्हें से पूछो ये समझ लियो और फिर इन्हों को समझाओ, तो टाइम दे कर करके आकर करके समझे। बहुत अच्छी चीज ये है जिसको समझना चाहिए, और समझ कर करके अपने घर गृहस्थ में रह कर करके कुछ छोड़ना नहीं है। हाँ, बाकी छोड़ना क्या है? 5 विकार। हाँ भाई, विकार तो छोड़ेंगे कि कहेंगे विकार भी रखे रहे? हाँ? नहीं, विकार तो हमको दुख देने की चीज है ना। हाँ, उनको छोड़ना है। इसीलिए उसे हमको घर गृहस्थ कोई विकार नहीं है। विकार कौन सी चीज है? 5। तो विकार निकलने से कोई हमारी गृहस्थी नहीं छूट जाएगी। नहीं, वो तो देवताओं भी गृहस्थी में थे, बाल बच्चे थे, राजा ही करते थे, लेकिन प्यूरिटी के बल से उनको योग बल था। अभी भोग बल है ना, वो योग बल था, योग बल से संतान पावर थी। अभी वो संतान पैदा करने की ताकत नहीं है, इसीलिए संसार दुखी है। जैसी संतान कैसे बिच्छू टिंडर जैसे निकालते तो वो काटते ही है ना, और क्या करेंगे। इसीलिए कहते देखो ये संतान ऐसी पैदा की, उनकी बुद्धि देखो ना। तो आज दुनिया के नाश के लिए तैयारियां हो गई है। अब बाप कहते हैं ऐसे संसार को नाश करके मैं फिर अच्छी बुद्धि वाला संसार बनाता हूँ, जिसमें स्वच्छ रहने से सदा सुखी रहूं। फिर काटना फाड़ना, एक दूसरे से लड़ना झगड़ना, ये सब बातें होती नहीं। समझा? अच्छा, बाप दादा और माँ की मीठे मीठे, हाँ सिकिला दे हो ना। सिकिला दे का अर्थ है बहुत काल के बाद मिले हो। हाँ, कितने काल के बाद? 5 जा। हाँ, क्योंकि ये चक्कर पूरा होने पर ऐसे आगे मिले थे, वो गीता में भी ना। तुम और हम कल पहले भी मिले थे, आगे भी मिले थे, हाँ अभी मिले हैं, फिर मिलेंगे। तो ये हमारा चक्कर आगे मिले थे इसी टाइम पर, ऐसा हूँ बहू, ऐसा ये भोपाल बैठा था। यही सब ये 5000 वर्ष की रिपीटिशन है। कल तो कहाँ तक बैठेगा चलेगा वो कह नहीं सकते हैं, वो आगे चल करके देखेंगे। लेकिन आज की तो आए थे, मिले थे हम सब बैठे, हाँ, और फिर मिलेंगे। हाँ, फिर ये राज भाग लेंगे और ये हम प्राप्त करेंगे। हाँ, फिर ये चक्कर फिर कर करके ऐसा आएगा। तो ये होता है, ये तो हाँ चलता ही रहने का। और वो भी हमारी चढ़ती कला है, इसीलिए हमको ख्याल करना है कि अभी हमारा चढ़ती कला का टाइम है, इसलिए हम चढ़ जाए। किसको ना खुशी होगी, अभी हमारा नया घर बनता है तो खुशी नहीं होगी। हाँ, हम नए घर में जाएंगे, ऐसा करेंगे वैसा करेंगे, ये सजाएंगे वो करेंगे वो करेंगे, होता है ना। हाँ, तो होता ही है ना। इसलिए हमको अभी तो खुशी की बात है, अभी तो नहीं ख्याल करना है अरे फिर लेकर के फिर ये पुराना होगा ना, फिर काहे के लिए बनाए। हाँ, ऐसा कोई ख्याल थोड़ी करता है। एक जीवन में कोई ख्याल करता है कल को मर जाए, इसीलिए क्यों हम पढ़े, क्यों लिखे, क्यों शादी करे, क्यों बच्चे में अब बैठे ही रहे, कल को मर जाए, कल को मर जाए, ऐसा करके कोई बैठ जाता है? नहीं, बड़े जानते हैं कल को मर जाए, हो सकता है, पॉसिबल है। तो जो पॉसिबल बात है उसी में भी मनुष्य ऐसा चलता है जैसे कि इसको सदा के लिए बैठना ही है। ना, पढ़ूंगा लिखूंगा, शादी करूंगा, बच्चे पैदा करूंगा, डॉक्टर बनूंगा, इंजीनियर बनूंगा, इतना मनुष्य सोच के चलता है। उसमें क्यों नहीं ये ख्याल करता है कल को कहीं मर जाऊं, कुछ न करूं, कुछ न करूं, ऐसा करेगा? कभी नहीं, ऐसा कोई सोचता नहीं। तो जो पॉसिबल बात है उसमें नहीं सोचे, ये तो हाँ पॉसिबल, ये तो गारंटी है कि हमको अवश्य मिलना ही है। तो ये सभी चीजों को समझना है। तो ऐसे बन के
शासन प्रशासन अनुशासन ऐसा देखा ना सुना हो किसी ने वैसा।
तेरी मीठी मीठी बोली जैसे कोई बाटे टोली, तेरी मीठी मीठी बोली जैसे कोई बाटे टोली, दुनिया सारी दिल में समाई तूने।
नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा,
और दृष्टि से लोरियां सुनाई तूने।
Om Shanti. Wonderful to listen to Mama's voice. It feels like we have been living in Sakar days, right? One day Brahma Baba's voice, one day Mama's voice. So thank you very much. And of course, we had been getting many feedbacks that many people having lots of good experiences just listening to Sakar Day stories. Thank you. Tomorrow is Thursday. We'll be offering Bhog to Baba, and also we'll be having Sakar English Muli from 5 p.m. to 6:10 p.m. The schedule will be the same, Mamrit Vela and evening series. Okay, now let's remember Baba. Take drishti, share drishti, and please open your videos.
मैं पंछी बनकर उड़ जाऊं,
So tomorrow is Thursday, Baba's day. Everyone will be offering bhog, whatever time you offer, but you must offer. And then we will offer tomorrow evening is Baba's Bhandara. So we have to offer with lot of bhavna bhog on day of Thursday. So good night for now, and yeah, keep well, take care. Good night. Om Shanti.